one of the things I am super fascinated about Germany is its infrastructure, and especially coming to the infrastructure of the transportation system in Germany. So when compared to my home country, which is India, and I do know that it's a developing country, and I'm comparing it with a developed country, which is Germany. But still, for me, as I'm coming from India, and that's the best comparison that I have, and that's the thing that which I always compare with because I lived my majority of my life in India. So compared to that, what I really am fascinated about Germany is its transportation system and the variety of transportation system that is available when living in Germany. So the very first time that I have come is in the year of 2014, and I first landed in Frankfurt, and from there I traveled to the university town where I did my master's degree, which is Heidelberg. And the first train that I took is a bullet train, which is called ICE in Germany, which is Intercity Express. So traveling from in an ICE from Frankfurt to Heidelberg was a crazy good experience for me. And this is what Germans use. And when you live in Germany, when you're doing a long distance journey, which is, I don't know, let's say 100 kilometer plus or so, people usually use this train called ICE or IC, which is just intercity. So these are the modes of transportation, or like this is one of the mode of transportation which one uses for the long distance travel quite often in Germany. And while living in Heidelberg, within the city, to travel from point A to B, there will be buses in Germany. The Heidelberg is a city which has the population about 160,000 people, and with this size, which is considered as a medium-sized town in Germany. And in these kind of cities, the transportation within the city limit that you get for public transportation is buses and trams that run on the roads. So these two are the modes of transportation that one has to travel within the city. Let's say, but if you want to travel between the towns, so which are, I don't know, 15 kilometers, 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers away from your city, then the other mode of transportation is called regional express or regional Bahn. So basically, Bahn in German is a train in English. So these two are the different types of trains that one can take to travel between the towns that are nearby. But let's say you want to travel a bit further away to the city, which is 150-200 kilometers, but you can also there will be a lot of connection trains between these two cities where you just take one regional express or regional Bahn, go to one town, and then from there you change to the other Bahn and other train so that you can reach to that city. So instead of taking the ICE, which is the bullet train, you can also take multiple regional trains and Bahns in order to reach from A to B, even though the distance is longer. So of course, the time that is taken is quite longer. The prices are cheaper when you take the regional express and regional Bahn, but of course when you take the long distance train, which is the bullet trains, is also called as ICE or IC, the costs are a bit higher. So that's where I was living very first, and after 2 years of my studies I moved to Berlin. And in Berlin, when of course from Heidelberg to Berlin, when I moved there, I took ICE, which is Intercity Express. So these trains travel around 250 to 300 kilometers per hour, if I'm not mistaken. So but they travel quite faster, and so basically with this, to travel about 600 kilometers, 650 kilometers, you take about 3 to 4 hours on an average. So yeah, when I moved to Berlin, in Berlin as well, yes, there are buses to travel within the city. There are trams as well that you can use. Yeah, the extra 2 other trains that are common in the bigger cities, as the population is also bigger. So for example, in Berlin, there are about 3.6 million people living. So as you can imagine, the city is also quite big. So there apart from the buses and the trams that are normal in the towns, so that is also available in the bigger cities. Apart from this, there are underground trains which just always travels underground. It's called U-Bahn, that's what they say, underground trains. And also the S-Bahns, which is called Straßenbahn. So these two also the other trains where you can use in order to travel from A to B. So for example, when I was living in Berlin and was traveling to work, so I was living a bit away from the city, which was about 45-50 minutes away from the city. And the main reason for me to live a bit outside the city is because rents are a bit cheaper and I was okay traveling a bit longer every day. So I used to take the connections of multiple different modes of transportation. So from my home to the main railway station near my place, I was taking the bus, and from there I used to take the S-Bahn to reach to my final, like my office destination. So combining different modes of transportation is how you can reach from point A to B. So until while I was living in these mid-scale towns like Heidelberg and Berlin, literally not even a single day I felt like, okay, I need a car in order to travel from point A to B. It was for 7 years or 8 years, I guess, I never felt that, okay, there is a necessity for car, because it's super simple to travel in the public transportation, using public transportation when you are living in Germany and when you are living in big towns or medium-sized towns. That's why I never had a car, and I'm someone who likes to read, or while I'm traveling, listening to the podcast, and this was really fun and I always enjoyed this. That's why I did not had a car, and also never felt like I need a car when I'm living in bigger towns. But recently I moved to a smaller village in the southwest part of Germany, and this village just has about 5,000 to 6,000 inhabitants. And when you're living in village, here is a bit of a problem, I would say, when it comes to the public transportation. So there is a train that is traveling from different cities around my village. That connectivity is there, but still if I want to go to a supermarket and then buy some food or like purchase groceries, then I have to walk around, which is also not too far away, but still getting stuff while living in village is a bit tricky. And recently is when I bought a car. It's not even 1 year that I bought it. So yeah, while living in a smaller villages, of course there might be a necessity for you to have a car, but while living in bigger cities, bigger towns, there is never a time that I felt that I need a car. Yeah, so this is how the public transportation is in Germany. So I hope I could able to give some idea about how things work while living in Germany when it comes to transportation. Also recently, since couple of months or so, Germany has started a new kind of ticket, or like new ticket system, where you just pay 49 euros and you can travel all over Germany. Of course, not in this long distance train that I was mentioning, which is IC and ICEs, but only with the regional express, regional bahns. You can take how many hour connections you want and then reach from point A to B. So this is quite a bold move from the German government, I guess. And also it's very helpful for many people who are especially living in the bigger towns and bigger cities, where you just pay 50 euros, which is nothing when you are living in Germany, and you can take any kind of transportation. That's something which is really fascinating, I guess, as well. So yeah, just wanted to share about my experience and how the transportation system works in Germany. I hope you like this video. If you are someone who is considering your move to a different country, especially in this case Germany, then this is the channel that you should be following. So I will be sharing my own experience of living and working in Germany, and from this you can learn from first hand all the information that you might need in order to take your decision. If you like this video, just leave a thumbs up, which really motivates me to provide content and create content that might be helpful for you in the future. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment down, or if you have any suggestion for me to create videos that you are missing around the topic that is interesting for you, then also leave the comment down, and I'm more than happy to create that video and provide that information. Until next time, I wish you a great one. Bye bye. Ciao.